baby. Hello. Wanna say hi to YouTube? Yes, you do. Star. I can't leave yet. We have to do the YouTube intro. Hello, Nippies. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi. Hello. I'm Nips, a freelance artist. And today, as you can see over here, we're actually going to be reading my webtoon OFFcell. We've got 3 episodes out, so we're gonna live read it together. I'm gonna try and do not that much commentary because if not, this video is gonna be 800 hours long. So I'll do an in-depth commentary video either here or on Patreon. You know, your girl gotta monetize the comic somehow because, you know, life is tough. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, I have been part of a Webtoons contest. It's a platform that hosts comics, TLDR, and they have a contest 2025 where you make 5 episodes of a comic and then, you know, grand prizes and stuff. A lot of people that win will become Webtoons originals. Basically, you get paid to make the comic, and I've taken my IP of over 10 years, revamped it, done it from scratch, and made Webtoons entry material. And so right now we only have 3 episodes, okay? And I'm making the other 2 right now, which is why we're gonna try and make this video with minimal editing because your girl has no time. And part of the judging process, 40% is audience engagement. So if you haven't read it yet, or if you don't want spoilers, you want to read it on your own, go ahead and read it on the Webtoons page. Like every episode if you can. Comment, like, comment, subscribe. It seriously helps. 40%. 40%. So yeah, and then we have a little bit of an advertising section sponsor because my merch just came back. My Valentine's merch. Okay, it's never too late for Valentine's merch. I am going to go ahead and cut this really quick so that we can go over the Vograce segment. I'm so excited for you guys to see the merch. It looks so... I will show you guys now. So let's get to that. And welcome to the ad portion of our video. Oh my god, I'm so excited to finally show you guys. It's been so long since I've made merch, but thanks to Vograce, we have some merch. It's Valentine's merch. I ordered it in December. We had huge shipping problems because of the customs here in Serbia, so, you know, got it late, but it's never too late to have Valentine's merch. So here we go. I have 4 items for you guys already in my shop. Our first one, going and starting strong. We've got our Saskia stickers. Oh my god, look at her. She looks so good. She's got this like art holographic moment going on. Absolutely love it. Next one, we have our washi tape. So the washi tape, we've got cat hair everywhere. The washi tape, look at it. Look at it. Oh my god. We've got little Cupid versions of all the characters. We've got Saskia. Fucking, oh my god. We've got Saskia, Anya, Yago, and Pim. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. I love them. And they come like this. I think they're 5 meters total. I put like all the details in the shop, so if you want to check that out, that is what they look like. Okay, next but not least, we're saving the best for last. This is the 3rd one. We have our pin. Look at this. Why is it not focusing? Look at how cute this is. Oh my goodness. They're little heart dangos. Oh my goodness. We've got Anya in the middle. We've got Yotaro. And then Pinko, who's always grumpy. Look at them. They're little tacos. And then I made the sauce. Their hair. Their typical like hair shape. Which I guess doesn't make it very obvious that it's sauce. But like, here we are now. So Look how nice it looks up close. Oh my goodness. Look at that shine. Look at that little emboss there, I think is what it's called. And then in the back, of course, it's got the butterfly clutch. Beep. And then attach it like that. Last but not least, the big boy, which I don't think I can show entirely on YouTube because it looks a little suspicious. Okay. We've got, wait, let me fold it. Let me fold it in a better way. We've got the body pillow. Oh my goodness. This is the Pim kitten body pillow. The kitty body pillow. Oh my goodness. He's wearing a leash. He's wearing bell collar. He's licking the bat with his we've got a heart blood shape here. Oh my goodness. I don't know how far down I can go here, okay? You should probably just go to my shop, okay? I have the full frontal there, okay? But yes, that is the merch that we have. So I'm super, super excited. Thank you again to Vograce for sponsoring. And there's Peepa. Hey, Peepa. But yes, I'm super excited. Thank you to Vograce for sponsoring this video. You can go ahead and get all the items in my shop below. And if you want to get your own, if you're an artist, I would highly recommend their quality. Oh my goodness. I was so scared that, you know, I'm always scared when I order merch because it's never really as I picture it or as the drawing looks. But oh my God, these are actually so close to the original. I cannot recommend them enough. You know, as an artist, you're always wondering whether the colors look the same on different screens, whether the colors look the same in prints and paper and everything, but I would highly, highly, highly recommend these. So yeah, go ahead and check out the links below. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna roast I'm gonna try and read the comic. Should I try and read the comic like a new reader? Maybe I should read it as myself. Because if not, I'm gonna start doing commentary. So let's roast my comic, read it as a new viewer. Okay. So let's go over the cover. Okay. So we've got the profile picture, where the profile picture came from. I'll do some mild commentary. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna hop in and out of my reader persona and insider scoop persona. Okay. But this is actually the original cover of the first chapter of my comic because it used to be a traditional format comic, like left to right rather than up down. And so I didn't have time to make a new cover, so thankfully there's a lot of content already, so that's what this is. Our main character, Pim. Okay, so episode 1, Mr. Klein, OFFcell by Nips. Characters in this comic speak different languages, and to depict that, country flags of the one they're speaking will be included in the corresponding word bubble as well as a key right below it. If there is no flag, assume American English. I'm wondering if I should just put English, but anyway. This is Mr. Klein in German. We've got a bat. We've got somebody here on the side. This is looking like kind of like a doctor's interrogation room. This person's a doctor. Okay. He's strapped in. Okay. Got reform is freedom. We've got the little moth there. Okay. He's blurry. Do you know why you're here? Again, seems like the moth fell on the table. Got grown. He's strapped into the chair. He's got blood on his hoodie. Then we have our protagonist. Who? Where? He's sweating. He's panting. And then we get a blood tear sweat mixing. And it flips onto this ring, which is definitely going to be important, okay? Because you never get a zoom in of anything this close if it ain't important, okay? Don't worry. In due time, I'm here to help. So the screen just says reform. We're going to assume it says reform is freedom. So, but first, tell me what you remember. And then we get a shot of the bat here. Out of focus, then in focus. Then we get some circles. Okay. Seems like we're going into a memory. Got him. He looks like a well-adjusted individual. Yeah. He's holding the bat. About to swing. Bang. Okay. We're back into the interrogation room. He's bloody. Got a peculiar blood pattern. That's me. That's my reader persona and creator persona mixing. Okay. Got a peculiar blood pattern on his jacket. Okay. Oh, Effie. Okay, so we have the name of a new character. He's like kind of laughing. He doesn't seem to have a reaction to that kill. So, you know, maybe we can assume he's a seasoned, cold-hearted killer. Fringe. That, yes, and now see, he's just like me. Photo. Starts laughing. Is this amusing? Lifts his head. Oh, and the first shot of our protagonist. Yes. Yeah, boom. Like, Effie? Okay, are we gonna get a glimpse at Effie? Okay, it seems like she's here, reflected on the bat, wearing the doctor's outfit. Let me see, Mr. Klein, and it's her wearing the doctor's outfit, looking like another well-adjusted individual. Okay, she's biting her lip. Okay, she like into him or something? What's going on? She's got her hands scratching at her nail, and then we see a small, you know, some small continuity. Very fun, very fresh. And he ducks, and now we see him like actually like recoiling, kind of like in pain, I guess. So big difference from the super fringe, you know, serial killer. Somebody told me that this looks like Light from Death Note, and I couldn't like unsee it. Random side comment. Random side comment. He's like, no. And then he grips his hand. It's okay, says the doctor. And he peeks to see if the doctor is still there. Seems. He's still sweating, panting. Everything is blurry, so this guy is just going through it. We're assuming this is our protagonist, okay? We'll have more sessions during your stay. For now, I'll leave you with our orientation video. It's best you pay attention. And then our protag is nodding off, it seems. Okay. He is passing out. Like, hello, Mr. Klein. He's like, this isn't English, so there's no German word bubble. And we get the full sentence. We've got reform is freedom. It says, you're in an institution for alternative reform. Trust, I have some insider scoop, okay? We've got a bunch of blurred word bubbles, you know. He looks very not tired, you know, so he's probably passing out. We've got some bracelet thing there. It's all blurred, motion blurred. You can see his eyes kind of giving out, and then as we scroll, he is indeed passing out. The screen gets darker, and then it gets lighter. And here we see, seems like it's daytime, he's asleep. And he's awake. Where are we? Oh. So we see him, he's wearing a completely new outfit. He's laying in bed, it seems. He's got something on his arm. I don't know how much of this is determined by my insider scoop, but I wonder if anybody could actually point this out from like seeing it on the TV. I don't know how much attention people pay, but from seeing it on the screen and see that it looks similar just from that panel. We're still laying there. We see a camera in the corner. Okay. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, 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 dot. Camera again. I get like a semi-chibi thing here. He's got his bat. Okay. Now we see the bracelet full force, if we notice that from the TV. And we have somebody under. So we've got a bunk bed and somebody there. Got more ellipses. Da, 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 da. Huh? So I guess realization hit. Where the fuck is he? Tries to get up. Bunk! On the ceiling. He's like, fuck! And we see his bracelet. He's got a 50 on it, right? Or an 05, I guess, from this angle. I have too much insider information, okay? 05 or 50, you know, take your pick. Question mark? He notices. Hello, Mr. Klein. And then it seems like we get the speech from the bracelet, from the TV. You're in an institution for alternative reform. So this looks like a prison, but they're calling it alternative reform. I don't know why they're not just calling it a prison. Though the person doing the interrogation was in a doctor's outfit. And we didn't see like any of the trial. Like this is definitely alternative. If we didn't really get a trial or anything, like it was just like he showed up, he was there, and then now we're in a prison cell. Suspicious. He's looking at it. A chance to redefine yourself. Then we see that it is indeed 50. And we see the bat is shining. He's looking at the bat. He's nervous. He's scared. He goes to grab it. He hesitates. And he grabs it and wipe your slate clean. Okay, so we are just truly reforming to redefine yourself. But wipe your slate clean. How does that work? I don't really know how that works. His hand is bloody, so we're transitioning to a memory, it seems. And we've got some, we got a body bag in the back, though. That body bag looks like Swiss cheese. So, I don't really know what's going on there, but I'm just such an observant reader, you know? Those circles look oddly familiar. Just saying. I don't know what's that on the right. Kind of like a casket, I guess. Here, your path is entirely up to you. So he's holding the bat still. Observant reader here. There's no blood on his face, so. And then we see a cross, so he's probably in a church. Choose wisely. And then this Effie character appears. She's not in a doctor's outfit. She's looking good. She's looking kind of good. She shows up. She's holding him. And you'll walk free. What the fuck? Okay. So what? You just, everything that you did, they're just gonna be like, okay, you're fine now. We'll forget everything. Just come in here, do whatever it is you gotta do, and then whatever that means, and then you get to walk free. And then it seems like she holds his hand. His hand is bloody. The bat is bloody. So she's holding his hand, but she's not just holding his hand. She's like death gripping that shit. Like she is holding it. And so what person is she to our main character? He was really scared. Like he went from, you know, sadistic smiling to terrified. And now she's like gripping him like this. What the fuck is going on? Okay. There's the camera again. He's holding, he's determined. Welcome to OFFcell. So I guess that's the alternative reforms place name. He looks at the camera, which has been there in almost like every frame, by the way, you know? It's trying to send a message. Okay. Now we get a POV from the camera, looking at it. And then we get this like swoosh, reform is freedom. And we get what's on the TV. Go down. And it's the moth. It's the moth from the beginning. Powerful imagery. Okay. Then we continue scrolling down. And we've got mugshots of Effie and Pim, which we don't actually know the name of our protagonist, but here the author has given it to us through a mugshot. So got OFFcell, and then you have all the credits of the people that worked on it. We've got art and story by Nips, color assist by V, insider info, it's actually Benasir, the colorist for Covenant. Incredible work. Text VFX, soft as Volbit, and then the background models, Rundi for the church, and Tomfield art for the cell. So yeah, that is the first episode of going back into creator mode, my comic. And we are, I don't know how long we're in, but I'm actually wondering if maybe we should split these into separate videos, or maybe we read them all at once. Maybe it's better we read them all at once. But yeah, so that is the first episode. What have we gained? Our protagonist has killed someone. Okay. He seems to be not really repentant of what he did. Or if he is repentant, then it's overshadowed by this Effie character who he is laughing at. But then in the memory later, we get that she's actually involved because she's at the scene of the crime. So I wonder if he's just laughing because of that and not because he actually killed someone. And then we have the blood splatter on the jacket, not the face. We've got the alternative reform place, which, you know, apparently you can walk free, wipe your slate clean. This place doesn't seem to have like a trial system, so not really sure what's going on. And he's strapped down to the chair in like a psychologist interrogation room situation. So that's pretty much all we've gathered. We don't actually like know anything about the prison. He's got a bracelet on with some numbers, and he has his bat. Has his bat in the prison. We're gonna keep calling it a prison. And that's all we know. And then there's someone else in the cell with him. He's in a bunk. So did I miss anything? And I think that's it. So we'll see where episode 2 takes us. Okay. Let's see. So we've got, oh, this is a preview episode. So this was before I started published episode 2. I kind of posted like a little sneak peek because the episodes do take quite some time. And so I didn't want to like leave people waiting too much. And so I linked my Patreon, which, by the way, if you guys want to check it out and support there, you know, lots of goodies. We got some spicy art, behind the scenes content, process videos, sketch requests, spicy requests. We've got the behind the scenes process and content of these episodes. So, you know, seems like a good deal to me, you know? And seriously, jokes aside, it really does help me help the creation of the comic because, you know, commissioning all the artists and then, you know, the time it takes to actually make the thing. So seriously, it really does help a lot. It has made me able to stop everything that I'm doing in order to make this. So thank you. Okay. Real episode 2. Let's see it. Give it to me. Wait. Episode 2 is called Aren't You? The first episode was Mr. Klein. And the second episode is Aren't You? Okay. So, trigger warning, this episode contains violent imagery that may be disturbing to some audiences. So, I guess here's your trigger warning as well, okay? So, yeah, be careful. We've got bzzz, bzzz, and then a fly. So we've got more like bug imagery. We have, why did I say yes? And oh my lord, we've got the buzzing coming all the way down and then zzz, everywhere into this body bag. Very grim imagery. The same body bag we're assuming that was in the memory of episode 1. And then it's dripping. It says, you tried to stop me and I caved. A coward. I'm so sorry. My love. Ruby. New character revealed. So who is this Ruby? Apparently dating our well, actually, we don't really know if they're dating, though if we look closer. What is that on her hand? The ring, that is definitely not important, okay? And insider info, but she's got the same hand pose as Effie from the first episode, but it's more gentle. It's definitely, it's not giving well adjusted. So, okay. She's got a very like old-timey kind of vibe going on. So got Ruby. And then we've got this like dripping pool of rubies. Definitely not blood. Insider info. That channel had to be changed like 6 times for Webtoon to approve it. So please wait for me. Okay. So he has a relationship with this Ruby person. She's got a ring on her finger where maybe we can assume they're either engaged or married. If she's waiting for him, I wonder if she knows what he's doing. Like he doesn't even question that she's gonna wait for him. So does this lady know that he's just going around killing people, I guess? And then we see him again with the bracelet. Just then we see there's a TV. We get a better shot of the room, of the cell. We see a jacket on top of the TV, which is probably the person under the bunk. And then we see the Reform is Freedom screen again. Fuck, why can't I remember anything? And then he starts speaking in German. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle. He's surprised. Huh? And then we get another character. Already looking kind of funny. And let's see, the cellmate goes, hi, in German. Okay, so insider info. It would be, I know like a lot of people like say hi or hello in like other languages, like in English, but in order to make this interaction like funnier, what I did was I just put it in German so that we can make it obvious that our main character is just in German mode, so that we know that he is like assuming that this person is German. That is really why I put it there. So he goes, hi. I love this character already, you know? And he's like, hi. Now in English. You get more ... He's like, okay. That's fine. We don't have to talk. And then he's coming down the stairs, absolutely caked the fuck up. Okay. More ... more ellipses. And we get step, step, step. He's very large. Okay. That's what I'm getting from this character. Doesn't care about anything. Very blasé. Step, step, step. And he's like, you look scary, but seem harmless. Quiet too. Deaf? Sounds like I hit the jackpot cellmate if I'm gonna do this prison thing or alternative reform. So he's like basically just talking to himself in German, I guess. And then he says alternative reform in English because I'm assuming the video was in English. So then we get a shot of him walking and our cellmate, we get a more serious look at our cellmate. So not so chibi, you know. And then he's looking and observing at our main character's hand. We're going to call him Pim because we got the inside scoop at the bottom of the credits. So he's gripping his hand. So something is going on. Something might be bothering him. I don't know. And he goes, and in a place where you can't leave, she'd have a field day with you. So what is he talking about? What is he talking about? I don't think he would say this about Ruby. Maybe? Is Ruby that kind of person? I think at this point, maybe we can assume it's Effie. And then he goes, one more job. Fucking slam. Okay. I wonder if the one more job maybe could be Effie because she was at the scene of the crime. So we get, shh. I knew that location was a horrible idea. So, I mean, if he's talking about the church, yeah, probably. He splashes his face. How did I even get caught? Is she here too? Okay, so we have an involved party. More ellipses. He's touching his lip. Something from episode 1 that I didn't mention, but he bled when he like cut his lip. in the first episode. It's funny, insider info. So I did that to show something that I'm not going to talk about because it's much later in the story. But he cut his lip biting into it when he was like reacting to Effie. And then the whole point was that he wasn't supposed to have it in the prison. So he like remembers like bleeding. And that's why he's touching it. He's like, oh, it's like not here anymore. And I literally forgot my own Easter egg because a couple panels right after he's bleeding in the first episode, I forgot to include it. So you didn't see that, okay? That his face is dripping from the water. Can you at least tell me your pop? This guy, he's just like me, you know? Oh, come on. And then we get a, hey, Diego. English? So now I guess he's realizing that maybe we're not supposed to be dealing in German. And then our second character actually says something. Diego, I'm assuming. It's like, I'm having trouble finding a cell that'll take me again. You still have an empty bunk? I don't know how to do this voice, okay? Definitely not meant for voice acting. And then we got, what the fuck is this shit? This is some like, some like shoujo, hyper shoujo, like, bruh. Be for real. And then, please, oh, well. That's what we got going on right now. Okay, so who is this? Our third inmate. Ahem. Who are you? And then we got this funny aura. I guess this is like an aura that this character can turn on and off because it's fading out now. It's going pop. And then they go back to normal. And he goes, me? Who are you? And then they just stare each other down. And then we've got more of this like camera motif going on. And then the chibis again, he's like, And then Pim's like, bro, not this again. And then this character goes, wait, aren't you? When they say the title of the episode, you know. But then our character looks at the camera. Why does he need to look at the camera when he says that? And also, insider info. Nobody pointed this out. I actually had to tweet it out. Do we see what's written there? Do we see what's written there? He looks at the camera. Do we see what's written there? It's the words off in a cell. It's the title of the fucking story. The title of the comic. Nobody pointed it out. I was like, I didn't want it to be obvious. I wanted it to like hide in the background just in case anybody was paying attention, but there it is. And then we get an ominous kind of like red light from the camera. He gets surprised because this character leans in and he goes, aren't you? Ba-bum, ba-bum. Effie's brother? So Effie is his fucking sister? Bro. Oh no. And then he freaks out. He's like, ba-bum. And then his mouth turns into Effie's. It's like, ba-bum, ba-bum. And he's like, no. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. And he's like, stop. Like, why are you here? So this character turns into the doctor and asks him why he's here, just like the doctor. And then we get, he's like, stop. And then we get, he's like scared. Stop. Like slightly wavering. Oops. Goes, he's fighting it. Like, please. And then he dissociates a bit here. He's like kind of giving up, but then we get And then he closes his eyes. It's calm. Everything is calm. Hello? Nice. Like me, pictures of me and my boyfriend there. Hello? Oh, okay. We scroll. Let go of me. And then he kind of like goes like this. Our character, he grunts. He's holding his head. He's like, fuck. And then this character's like surprised. He's like, yo, is this guy okay? And then he looks worried. He's like, and then the other character's just like staring at him like, what is going on? Now, insider info, but this panel, I actually made a huge mistake because Yago is supposed to be sitting down in the bed. Like, he hasn't gotten up yet. But I didn't realize this until after, like, it was already, like, super done and everything. And I was like, I hope nobody notices that he just, like, is randomly standing up now and not sitting down on the bed. Because in the next episode, he stands up from the bed. So it's, like, weird. He's just, like, standing up here, and then he's sitting again, so... You know? And then I reused this panel at the beginning of episode 3, so... But it's okay. You guys don't know that. You know, insider info. You guys would never tell anybody. So she is here. Okay, so we get confirmation that he is talking about Effie. Fuck. And he's click, 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 click. How do they know each other? Did she get here before me? Is she here because of me? Like, click, 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 click. So he's like fidgeting with his thumb. And something that we didn't notice because I forgot to be an observant reader, but when this character shows up, this character has a 47 on their bracelet, not a 50. So interesting. Okay. So we go down. Oops, went way too far. And then he goes, why am I here? So let's read it again. He goes, fuck. How do they know each other? Did she get here before me? Is she here because of me? Because this character seems to already, like, know that Pim is her brother. And, like, how did you, if I just got here, how did you have time to get to know this character and give him this info and all of this? Like, what is going on? And then he asks himself, like, why am I here? Like, what's going on? And then more pause, and he laughs again. Like, ha 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 ha. Just laughing. And then we get a spider, a black widow, to be specific. And then he's like serious, he's not laughing anymore. Kind of like got this kind of nose action thing happening. And then we go, doesn't matter. The string turns red. Now he's laughing with this like smiling, smirking with this like red lighting. So edgy. And then, because I'm clawing my way out of here anyway. Not cringe at all. And then we have the Black Widow again in the net with the fly trapped, ready to be eaten. So we're probably assuming this is the fly from the beginning. And now the spider has it trapped in its claws. Or more symbolic imagery going on, you know? It's always a question of like being attracted to something and then dying, being trapped, inescapable, you know? And then we get to the bottom. Thank you for reading. If you like the comic, please engage by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It helps for the contest. And then we get more mugshots. Yago, Alvin. It's funny because I say Yago because I'm used to the character, but a lot of people don't know how to pronounce this name. They say like Jago, Yago, and everything, and I just like forget because I'm so used to it, but it is indeed Yago. Okay. We've got the same credits, art and story by Nips. Co-line artist this time by Valentina. I really needed help. There was like way too much work, so I had this incredible artist help me with the line art. Co-colorist, again, V. Benessier. Text effects, Soft as Velvet, and then the background models by Tom Field Art. And then please consider supporting on Patreon. And then an old drawing I have of them, Alvin, Pim, and Yago together, which now we know this character's name, Alvin, because, you know, we didn't have it before, but the creator's just handing it out, you know, all that free info. Okay, let's see the last and final episode. Okay, this one's gonna be fun. This one's gonna be fun. I love this episode. Okay. Spoiler, you know, right ahead. Okay. So we've got this like fading. And then we get Effie again. It's like blurred, so it's like a memory. And he's like, why am I here? Why am I here? We've got our hands again, and this time we have a web. The web splits into two. We've got the laughing. And it's Pim. And the web is attached to him, kind of like a marionette. So she was the spider. She was weaving her web. He's trapped. Like a marionette. So is he like a puppet? You know? All these interpretations. And then he goes here. You know her. You're in here too. Take a guess. So why is he even saying this? First of all, he's acting like way too comfortable. So what we can assume from this is, you know her, you're in here too. So basically, does everybody that she deals with end up in prison? Like, is this just the relationship she has with pretty much everybody she knows? She gets everyone in trouble except herself? But it seems like she's in here too, so. Then he goes, don't let her fool you when she promises the world. Unless, of course, you've already been bought. So this Effie person is a big talker. She's out here, you know, just saying, we're going to do this. I'm going to give you this. And then he smiles. And he's like, then I hate to break it to you. She's not going to pick you. And now he's serious. So this character, this Pim character is just going back and forth between, you know, smirking, anxious and sad. Anxious mostly, worried, just traumatized, to give you the insider definition, I guess. She's not going to pick you. So we're now going to assume that this Effie character deludes people into believing, you know, that she's going to be with them, I guess. And you'll just die another one of her delusional playthings. Okay, and now he's fine again. So we've got smirking, not, and then sassy smiling again. And so it seems like she has a lot of these like playthings, is what he's calling it, delusional, because she's just telling them that she's gonna, you know, be with them and that she loves them and this and that, and she uses them, it seems. She just uses them, you know? She just uses everyone around her, it seems. And then once she's done with them, doesn't care, leaves them to rot either in prison or not, or otherwise. And so I think it's safe to assume that Alvin is this kind of person. So, and so Alvin is just looking at him and he's like, playthings. So Alvin is confused. Alvin has no idea what Pim is talking about. Like, playthings. Like, what are you saying? And then we get a very not delicious shot of YAYYYY. And so he's like getting up here. And then we get some foreground, background, focus, action, listen. As a creator, slipping out of my reader mode, I'm so fucking proud of these panels because I had a mission, I had a goal, an objective to depict something, and I am very happy with how it came out. And YAYYYY is the kind of character who, if you haven't noticed, like, to say that he doesn't speak, like he's a man of few words, is like very generous. Like, this man does like not talk. And he may not talk, but he's like very perceptive. He's very perceptive. He's always observing things around him. And so I think YAYYYY as a person, you can see that the world is happening around him. Like, he's never truly the focus, if that makes sense. Like, the world is just kind of like happening around him. And so you're just kind of paying attention to that. And he's just like there, just looking. And so I really wanted to cram as much information as I could to decharacterize Yago and also continue the conversation between Pim and Alvin, because this is essentially Yago's summary. It's just him watching two people or people live their lives, and he's just standing there doing nothing. Well, observing, I guess. Observing isn't not doing anything. And so Alvin is like, playthings? And then Pim is just being all sassy, grabbing Alvin. He's like, I guess that answers my question. So I guess it is true. You are a delusional plaything because you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then Alvin's like, no, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? What is happening? And then Yago is looking at Alvin here. And then it seems like Yago is now looking at Pim. So he's like, and then Pim is like, I will say you don't look her type. And then Alvin's like, dude, what? Like, huh? And Yego's just over it, okay? He hates this shit, okay? And so Pim is now like, okay, now you're just doing it on purpose. Like, there's no way that somebody is this clueless, okay? There's delusion, and then there's just nothing going on in that brain. So Pim's like, are you embarrassed about what you two get onto? Are you guys embarrassed? And then Pim is like, trust me, shame is not a trait I'd encourage with Effie. And then we get boop, Pim boops him. Look at how nice the letters look. Soft as velvet, everyone. Good work. And then Pim's like, and look at you, so cute. Don't ruin that pretty face with worry lines. So our king, our all the sexual kings. So then Pim goes, if I wasn't already engaged, I might have dabbled myself. But you seem like a nice guy, so I'll just put in a good word for you with her instead. So now we get confirmation that he is engaged to this Ruby person. So Alvin also getting progressively angrier. He's like, bro, please leave me alone. I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's just like, if you know the fucking Twitch meme, the donut wall, where you're just like talking to a wall for nobody's listening to you. That is what Pim is doing. And then Pim is like, just remember that with Effie, the only thing you have to do is know your place. And you get like the serious chibi. Okay. So we get a line. There's a line and there's some dots. Get some ellipses. Okay. And then Alvin's like, oh. And then now we get this like heart monitor situation here. Like, you know yours? Now we're getting this like pink aura thing again while he's being sassy. Okay, so this character is kind of sassy. Character is not as they seem. Then we get the heart monitor thing again. Ooh, and we get this like evil, cute kind of like face, like this super. What a dick. He's like, because you got it all figured out, huh? When the only delusional plaything here is you. Right, Pimmy? That's a lot to unpack. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. So this Alvin person clearly knows something we don't. He's like constantly looking at the cameras. He knows Effie. He's like secretive about Pim knowing Effie. Like something. Why is it that the cameras don't want us to know that he, like, that's weird. And then he's like telling our pro tag, like, oh, because you got it all figured out, huh? Like, you definitely know. Like, I don't know what's going on. It seems like you have no idea what's going on. And then it says Pimmy. And then we get this like hallucinatory glitch kind of shot of what we're assuming is Effie, because who else has a very well-adjusted smile like this with red lipstick? And the font changes to the same font that we had in episode 1 that Effie had. So we're gonna call this one the well-adjusted font. Okay. And then we get the heart monitor thing again. He gets triggered. Is it from Pimmy? Is it because Alvin's being kind of a dick? And then the heart monitor thing gets stronger. And then Diego is now staring. He's observing. He's like, this guy's gonna crash out right now. And indeed, and then yank. Before we proceed, insider info. These heart monitor things. Okay, listen. I was gonna go to medical school. Okay, I have a degree in biology. And then I was like, you know what's a good idea? I'm gonna be an artist. And then my parents were like, no. And so when I did this, I wanted to make an accurate, like I think it's called HRV, an accurate like lining, so that if I had any like anybody in the medical profession, like nurses, doctors, etc., they would be able to read it and it would be accurate. But I didn't have time because I was like doing this, like I was gonna upload the episode like really soon. I was like, fuck, bro, I don't have time to make this accurate because I have to go back and like learn everything. And so this is my disclaimer. If you are a medical professional, I am so sorry. Okay, this probably looks like this looks like a mess to you, but if we end up winning something, getting the originals deal, they're gonna make me redo a lot of these episodes and re-upload them. So I will try and do this accurately by then. We'll see. Don't hold me to it, but I want to. So okay. And he goes yank, grabs him. Like, ugh. He's like, wait. And then Pim is like, just tell me. And then Alvin's like, huh? I'm very proud of these panels. They look so cool. Okay. Where is she? I always read this in a Christian Bale voice because I'm like, why is it so cringe? Where is she? And then he's staring at us like he's like fully dissociated, like he's triggered, got the glowing red eyes. And Alvin's like, I don't know. And then Pim smiles. He's like, we'll see about that. And then we get a step. He's scared. We've got a giant shadow. And Alvin's feeling a little sassy, a little happy. We got like some da. And then we have Diego's arm going, hey buddy. Hello, what's good? So of course Pim is shitting himself. And Diego's like, yo. Menacing ellipses, okay? You know it's serious when the ellipses are black, in a black bubble with white. And then we get the insider info. I had no idea how the fuck I was gonna do this. I really wanted to do like the SpongeBob, you know, like where you do like the capital lowercase, like making fun of himself. And so but I just left the text the same because I was like, I don't think that's gonna read well. But instead I just took the chibi and I added like the clown face makeup. You look scary, but seem harmless. And then Alvin's like, oh yeah, this is about to go, this is about to be fun. And Pim's like, oh shit. And oh shit indeed. Pow! Get your shit pushed in. Doesn't this panel look amazing? Soft as velvet, I'm telling you. This panel would not be the same without her. So blood going everywhere. And then we have stars from a sky. We've got the Klein Mansion in Munich, Germany. So they live in Munich. And then we have this illustration by RVH Illustrations on Instagram. Raphael, incredible work. Then we have Click, a TV screen. It says tech mogul Elias Voss. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay. I know I wrote it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Reported missing from his Alpine estate. Zero trace killer. Even gold bleeds. Ida Reinhardt, colleague. Okay. Click. Another channel. The Zero Trace Killer. Okay, so we've got a motif going on. They have Tagestrom. I'll make a comment about that in a second. We've got Even Gold Bleeds. Global Elite targeted in String of Vanishing. So the Global Elite. String of Vanishings. Okay. Anonymous leak suggests internal cover-up. Officials deny existence. Ministry urges calm amid rising panic. Families accuse investigators of withholding, probably. Okay. Click. Another channel. Velt this time. Millionaires continue to vanish. Okay, so the global elite millionaires, even gold bleeds. Again, the zero trace killer still loose. Okay. And then here we have what began as isolated disappearances is now escalated into a nationwide concern with at least 20 possibly connected incidents. Authorities have released few details, but sources confirm a coordinated response involving both local police and the BKA. Now, for these, I am so proud of these, okay? Going back into creator commentary because they're German and I wanted the channels to be German as well. I was gonna do like random channels, but I was like, what if I just like really like, you know, channeled, no pun intended, the German energy? And so I went and I Googled like a bunch of like German news channels and I tried to take the most popular ones or the ones like most iconic that I can maybe copy their formatting. And I picked these and I changed their like logo. So this was NTV and I made it OTV. And then this one was Tagesschau. I changed it to Tagesstrom. And it was C24, this like thing, and then 24. And I changed it to 204. And then this one is Welt. And I just made Welt. So yeah, I'll probably, if I do like some minor editing, I'll put what it originally looked like because these are direct screenshots that I basically like painted over and then I redid the bottoms so you guys can see what they originally look like because I'm very proud of these. So, and I told my friends, I was like, listen, they were a lot of work, but I was like, if just one German recognizes them, everything will have been worth. And a German, did indeed recognize them. And I was so happy. I was like, you alone made this whole thing worth. So if there's any Germans here in this audience, you know, let me know. How did I do? Okay. So we're gonna get Effie now, it seems. Look, Pim, your work is leaving a mark. And then Pim's like, our work. Stop acting like you have nothing to do with it. And so we have the TV, we have this room. Very elegant, very wealthy. Of course, is the mansion. We have some very interesting decor. We've got Delia. All of this was intentional, of course. This background was done by Amorphia. Incredible work. I gave them like all the concept art and everything, and they just like brought it. It's incredible. And so Effie goes, I mean, listen. And then it says, despite tireless investigation, no bodies have been found. Search, however, remains active. So no bodies have been found. And she's like, all you. And he's like, and you take hit jobs from self-interested millionaires like you, then try to moralize it. Impressive work. And then she interrupts him. She's like, you're changing the world, Pim. One criminal at a time. So we've got a lot to unpack there. So she takes hit jobs from millionaires to seemingly kill other millionaires. And then she tries to moralize it. And when she says, she refers to the work, she calls it Pim's work. Not her work, Pim's work. But she points out to the fact that the bodies haven't been found and calls that his work. So, she's like, you're changing the world, Pim, one criminal at a time. And then he's like, how? By beating corpses to a pulp? So now we're getting more info about what he actually does. So what was in that bag was just a corpse. And he's just beating it like to a pulp. Is that really, that's what he's doing. So she takes the hit jobs, kills the people, and then she just hands him a bag of a corpse for him to beat. And then we're presuming that she is having him like break the body down so she can get rid of it efficiently. But it's like there's so much better ways to do that. So are we doing that as a psychotic person? to have an excuse to keep this person under your control. I don't know how much we can gather all of this information from analyzing this because I have too much information because I'm definitely not the creator. So, and then she goes, yes. And look at how long you have gone unfound because of it. No trace, the no trace killer. And she's like, you're the most important part of the job. A good job. And look at her. Look at that well-adjusted, look at that well-adjusted smile. These monsters deserve to be taken out. Beaten. That's why he's doing what he's doing, okay? And doesn't the crushing sound of their bones just feel so good? Kimmy? And here she's grabbing his face, pretty uncomfortably it seems. And then she's grabbing it again, but she's digging her nails in like so hard that it's like making him bleed. And then, you know, again, the well-adjusted smile. She could do no wrong, you know? She's just so innocent. She's just doing a good job. Well, he's doing a good job, okay? And so, because I don't know how much of this is readable as like an audience, but it was a deliberate choice. But if you are to manipulate someone and gaslight into somebody, that they're, you know, like this is all his job, you know, this is your job, you're doing a good job, this is a good thing that you're doing. I deliberately did not include the word killer in no trace because I think if you were to say that to somebody that I think you're trying to gaslight, I think that kind of like because the killer is not a moral thing, especially if she's trying to make him believe that he's doing a good thing. And so I deliberately like chopped it off, just say like no trace, like basically to confirm what the news is saying, because the news makes everything seem more important, right? Like look at how important it is, but the important part is the fact that it's no trace, not that you're a killer. So I don't know, maybe that's like me overthinking it, but it was a deliberate choice, and so I really wanted to, you know, just give you that little commentary. And so, Pimmy, in that font that triggered him. So we get the heart monitor thing again. Boom, boom. He's dissociated. He's dissociated. And then the line starts turning blue. Boom, boom. What was that? Turns blue. He's closing his eyes. He's uncomfortable. He's like, seems like he's trying to fight it again. And then it goes away. And he's back. He's back to normal. Oh, he's back to normal. And then he goes, stop calling me that, bro. Like, this was just getting like too comfortable. Like, what is going on here? Like, what is this? What is happening, girl? Relax. And then he's like, stop calling me that, bro. Like, and he's like, and no more jobs. Okay, jobs. If that's really what we're calling in here. I'm out. And then something falls out of his pocket. And now he's talking, but it's blurred. It's blurred. And he goes, for years, I've let you do this. Back and forth, pushing me around. We've got Effie, we've got a big focus on this box that looks suspiciously like an engagement ring box. And it's blurred because we're gonna assume that this bitch is not listening to him, okay? Because if we couldn't gather that she doesn't listen to him from the conversation before, we definitely get some confirmation now. And he goes, everyone in my life, gone, except one. We're probably gonna assume it's Ruby. And I'm not gonna ruin it. Let you ruin it. So now he's continuing to like push her and say, no, you're doing this as well. Like, don't deflect. She's looking well adjusted, you know. And he goes, for what? So I can play hitman with you? Good job. Fuck off. She's opening the box. We see a small shine. And then he goes, "You're poison." And this bubble isn't blurred. She hears it. And the ring. We get the ring. Okay. And then we see all the reflection, the shine, the beauty of the ring, but yet dead, soulless eyes. Powerful imagery. And then after all that, she's like, wow. She's like, wow. She's like, okay, anyway. And then Pim's like, you even listening, bro? And she's like, it's getting serious, huh? And he's like, it's been serious, Effie. Take it off. It's beautiful. What are you asking her? And then this psychotic bitch puts it on, like waving it around, you know, chilling. You know, got people feet action here. And then she looks. She's looking after she asks through the ring. And then he goes, tomorrow. And he's got remnants, you know, he's got the blood on his face from her grabbing him. And she goes, perfect. Perfect. Sounds like you have time for one more job tonight. Call it a gift, you know? Always gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. If you had to define Effie, that it seems like that's what it's giving, okay? And then he goes, no. And then she goes, a toast. A toast to you and Ruby. Take the bottle. Celebrate with her. Another gift. You know, she's so giving. She's so generous. So thoughtful. You know? At this point, I'll be the one walking you down the aisle. And then she starts laughing. With it red ha-has, because that is always a good sign. Okay. And then we get Pim, obviously upset, sad, disappointed. He's holding on to the drink cup. He's kind of like thinking about Ruby here. And she's worried. Kind of wanted to give her that, like, she cares about him. She seems like probably knows what he's going through. Trying to reach out to him, like, be strong, you know, hang in there. I'm there for you. And then we get cheers from Effie. She's still wearing the ring. We got another innocent smile from her, you know. And then we get this little trail. We get a blink. And that is the end of the chapter. Again, thank you for reading. Again, like, comment, subscribe. We've got Ruby, because she doesn't have a mugshot. So, but she has like the 1940s like aesthetic. I gave her like a Polaroid. This is like old concept art I have of her. But fun fact, she is actually based off the 1940s around there aesthetic is like one of my favorite aesthetics of all time. Like, I just love the fashion. And she is actually based off Veronica Lake. That woman is so beautiful. And she was like pretty much like the whole inspiration. Like, she just like, oh, what a beauty. And so that is that. Then we've got all the credits. We've got Amorphia, same as everything. And then supporting on Patreon, you know, you get a bunch of cool things on there. And then we have the cover of one of the original chapters. I think this is chapter 5. And it's basically him and Ruby when they first meet. And then Effie being well adjusted in the back. So, yeah. So, yeah. What have we gathered? I mean, Effie is deranged, to say the least. Not that Pim isn't doing anything bad, but Effie is clearly doing a lot here. It seems like this whole thing was her idea. And it seems like she just like was like, hey, I need you to do this. And if you do this, it's a good thing, okay? You should do this thing. And I just need to have people around me, especially from episode 2, where we know the kind of person that she is. She just uses everyone around her. It seems like she likes the control that she gets from having all these people around her, and then like, not never really fulfilling, but she just likes to feel that power and control. And she's gaslighting him into, you know, believing that the things he's doing is good. She's trying to just like keep him there. She neglects everything he has to say, his concerns and everything. And it seems like she is not happy that he's getting engaged. Like, you can tell that Pim is trying to get away from her. And he is like, no more jobs, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. Like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I let you do this to me and just kind of like manipulate me and gaslight me, etc. And this ring is just like a threat because it is basically making him leave, which means she won't be able to control him anymore. So, you know, we can't have that, you know, we can't lose control of anybody. You know, everybody has to be under my heel. So that is what is happening. So she is insane, and that is what I've got. That is what I've gathered from this episode. So now we don't actually like know too much about the prison, if at all anything, and it seems like this is like a slow burn, kind of a slow burn. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Okay, I want to see where it goes. I want to see what's going on. How does he get out of this? Like, what does Ruby say or do? Did Effie get caught as well? We'll see. Episode 4 and 5. Okay. So, going into my creator mode. So, these episodes, oh my goodness. I feel like this video is probably already too long, but I really want to make, I already did a long stream like reading this and then doing commentary, but I felt like it was like way too long. So I decided not to publish it. It is a VOD on Twitch already, but I decided not to publish it. In general, it was supposed to be a YouTube video and on Patreon and stuff. So I'm going to redo it a little bit more concise. All the Easter eggs that I hit, all the spoilers. There were some I didn't mention here because it would really give things away, so I didn't mention them. But I do want to reread this with like full commentary because there's so much commentary about the process, why these 3 episodes are so slow, and like all the changes that I had to make, the things that I learned. And I have a whole list of videos that I want to make. I was going to stream them and just upload them as YouTube videos. And just the whole process of like the whole Webtoon process, like writing, thumbnailing, coloring text, you know, tips that I would give you now that I've been doing Webtoons for like a couple months now. I'm like, oof, if I had known that from the beginning. So I have like 5 to 10 like video ideas that I want to make. So let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of the comic, okay? Let's be honest, okay? You can be honest, that's fine. You can give me feedback if you want. I'm very interested to know all sorts of opinions. Let me know down below. And of course, if you can let me know actually on Webtoons, because the engagement does matter. And like all the episodes, subscribe. And if you're already on Patreon, I really, really do appreciate it. Like, it does mean the world. I will be sharing more of the process on there. There's still 2 full episodes to go, and I'm working really hard on that, which is why I cannot edit this video that much. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This ended up being a much longer video than I wanted to, but if you watched the whole thing, if you found it entertaining, let me know down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, join the Nibby family, the more the merrier. I have been working really hard the last couple months on the comic, so I haven't really had time to make super cool edits, make, you know, good edits of this video or videos in general. So I'm sorry if this video is a little too boring to watch, but hopefully you enjoyed it anyway. Thank you again to Vograce. Thank you again to you guys. Thank you again to all the Patreons, and thank you, Peepa. Thank you, Peepa. Kenny was at the beginning of the video, and now you're at the end. You're like, ain't nobody gonna take my spotlight. All right, see you guys next video and the next episodes as well. Bye.